When Catherine is out of sorts, there seems to be no escaping her ire, Commander. I do understand her, though, for whilst equality among the civilized races is not to be found, I do uphold that women are every bit as capable as men, provided they are lizards.
Typical of Catherine to get miffed over money. I don't care what they pay me as long as I get to brawl and booze.
Yikes, what a vixen! Can't dear old Cathy be happy with the wages she gets? Not like she has to cook or clean.
Listen here, Commander, for I have a matter of great import that I should like to bring to your attention. In the realm I ruled, that rule was absolute, as was that of my vassals, women all, of course. We concerned ourselves with matters of mastery and the mind. Men with all things menial, according to the natural order. On this ship, however, I find myself trapped amid so many cocks of the walk, the one more swollen with self-importance than the next, only to discover these pompous windbags actually earn more wages than Scarlet, Prospera, or I do. If anyone, it is we of the superior sex who should sooner receive more silver and gold than those of the savage variety. You'll set right this iniquity, Commander, and you'll do it now. Good. So you should. And I hope this is the last of such nonsense I've had to deal with.
Yikes, what?
Fire and steel will fall.
Step by step. Anti-ground turret completed. Construction in progress.
Go on, give me a target. Hunters off the leash.
Commander,
The war is displacing a great many people, and thus the influx of a great many foreigners into the realm is inevitable. Many of them are driven to crime by want or ill will. To that effect, I propose that if a foreigner is found guilty of an offense, he or she should be deported immediately. Delinquency is on the rise, and we need a few effective deterrents to curb its proliferation.
Foreign criminals seem to abound like sand on the beach these days, Commander. Let's be rid of them like Falstaff suggests. In fact, the sea would be as good a border as any to make them cross. Yes, let them drown for their misdeeds.
Many criminals inhabit our realm, Commander. Such is the unpleasant reality. Some of them are domestic, some of them are foreign. Punish them when they are caught, but do not make the distinction.
Oberon and I are of the same mind in this matter, Commander. Deportation just seems a bit excessive. And I very much doubt it's the structural solution Sir Silvervein hopes it to be.
No, Commander. Falstaff has it all wrong. We imps force foreign convicts to do all sorts of dirty and dangerous jobs. Why deport when we can make them drudge?
Capital, Commander. Let others provide for this petty riffraff. We'll have none of them no more. Solves jail overcrowding, too. We're killing 2 burglar birds with 1 stone here.
Wonderful. Let's organize ferries to Shark Point. Once deported there, there's no way these vermin will ever make it back to our 7 blessed shores.
I think you're setting a dangerous precedent, Commander. Associate foreign with criminal, and you'll give rise to all kinds of mischief.
Your call, Commander. But don't come crying to me if vigilantes sprout like mushrooms and start dispensing their own unique brand of justice.
This is sheer folly, Commander. Now we'll have to use domestic scallywags to do all the nasty chores. That's like discrimination in reverse.
Stand in the...
Our victory...
I must admit you settled that last engagement.
Bloody good show, Commander. We kicked butt today, and firmly too.
Bravo, Command. Gladly shall I...
The wizard will fall. I hope your will forward.
And so it came to pass that the Dragon Prince was initiated in the ways of war. and caught the attention of his siblings. Whereas the prince had been but a flea in his half-brother Carthan Axehand's coat, the dread decapitator now took full notice of what turned out to be a dragon, and so in turn did the others. Yes, it was in the heartland of Rivellon that the war would be decided between the last of Sigurd's children. Carthan remained a threat, as did his sister Sybil the Silent, who had cut out her own tongue a long time ago to stop the voices in her head from babbling. And then there was Farran the Fleshless, who was convinced he wasn't human at all, but rather an undead, which he would demonstrate by slicing the flesh from his body. Such was the crazed company the Dragon Prince would have to fight. Such were the terrors he would have to overcome. And the way he did so is still studied by all strategists in Rivellon today. I have news for you, Commander. Great, grave, or gratifying, I'll leave its interpretation to you. The fact of the matter is your victories have gone far from unnoticed. That much you knew. But they have also gone a long way toward uniting a shattered realm. It has therefore been announced that you are to marry, for that will bolster the populace's spirit and cement your power as Emperor. Soon the finest princesses in the land will be here, bidding for your hand in marriage. Not as such, no. You don't want to get married, because that would be a bit of an imposition. The decision has been made, you see. Matters such as these, even an emperor has to accept without remonstrance. Still, there are worse things than tying the knot, surely. I dare say it will. But do not, please, take this matter lightly, Commander. Of course, I hope your wife shall turn out to be a charming girl indeed. But this, above all, is a political bond, meant to strengthen the ties between you and the faction she belongs to. Love, I'm sorry to say, has very little to do with it. But of course, I may be proven wrong. Perhaps it is even best that I had. Very well, Commander. And while you fantasize about pretty princesses, I'll continue my studies. Grumio may find his inspiration in dreams, but I'll stick to books, thank you very much. A wizard likes his nose between the pages, rather than his head in the clouds.
So, Oberon is putting poof nuptials back on the agenda, is he? When will those blasted elves realize marriage is about procreation, not pleasure or passion? Can't these queers be happy with what they have? Used to shoot 'em on sight barely a century ago.
Commander, I intend to propose legislation later today that will make it possible for gay couples to be married. I know I'll get some pretty stiff opposition from Falstaff and especially Yorick, so I'm hoping I can count on your support. Sir Falstaff raises some proper concerns about family values and the likes, but that holier-than-thou collection of bones will prattle on and on about gods and such nonsense. Nothing we can't handle.
Commander, could you spare me a moment? Now, I know I'm a general and politics isn't my field of expertise, but I was hoping you'd support Oberon in his attempts to allow marriage for people of the same sex. It's a pet peeve of mine, you see. Live and let live, I say. Why do others get to decide who someone may or may not love? None of their bloody beeswax. So much hypocrisy would be exposed for what it is, you know. Think of the famed lizard artist Della Gecko, for instance. Everybody knows he's gay, but he was forced to marry a duke's daughter. 2 lives made miserable because of senseless so-called moral objections. The whole business is unconscionable if you stop and think about it.
7 wither Oberon's tongue for uttering such perversions. He and his depraved ilk would allow men and women to fornicate with others of their own gender. How base, how vile can one become? God save us from this debauchery.
Commander?
Yes,
Commander, could you... So much hypocrisy would be exposed for what it is, you know. Think of the famed lizard artist Della Gecko, for instance. Everybody knows. Thanks, Commander. You're a doll. I'd give you a kiss that'd blow your jetpack off if you weren't off limits.
7 with...
Fire and steel, right?
Commander. Sir...
They are here, Commander. The fairest maidens to be found. Here in the hope you will take their hand in marriage. Gathered aboard are Lady Lohanna of the Elves, Lady Ida of the Dwarves, Lady Camilla of the Lizards, and Lady Ophelia of the Undead. Godspeed, Commander. I wish you the best of luck. Heavens no, we wouldn't want to make a scene. The rejected princesses will be disappointed, and their counselors furious. No, once you have made your choice, inform me of it in confidence, and simply be about your business. I will take care of the rest. That would have been politically inopportune, Commander. Don't tell me you take after Edmund, and dislike anyone who is not of your own species. Any of these princesses will make for a loving wife, and bring you great prosperity. There was an incident. Best not to mention it.
Shopping for a spouse, are we, Commander? I wonder what the return policy on these princesses is. No refund after they've been used?
I envy you, Commander. You 4 women here begging to make her yours. Bloody hell! I wish I were a dragon knight.
This is all too disgraceful. Parading these women around like prize cattle. Whatever happened to marrying for love? What happened to respect? Outrageous!
You dragons sure have a nice time of it, Commander. Who's it gonna be? That elf girl is cute. I mean, you know, not that I've been really looking.
Oh dear, oh dear. A ravishing imp princess was on her way to the Raven, Commander. But she and her chambermaids were playing hide-and-seek the lit fuse aboard her transport ship. And, well, they didn't find it in time. Poor girl. Died a true imp's death, though. Blasted to smithereens, fireworks in the sky. I'm happy for her, really.
Jingling bells, my lord. The ship is full of We'll fall...
All this lovey-dovey stuff is wasted on me, Commander. But you go ahead and see who takes your fancy. Elf, dwarf...
The 7 have graced you, Commander. For today they bring before you Ophelia, daughter of Everking, sovereign of the Skeleton Spire. A more splendid princess is not to be found. Marry her, and the gods themselves will bless your union.
Go on, girl. Don't be shy. Answer the dragon.
My lord and emperor, I stand here before you because I was bid to, and thereby was I blessed. I am not worthy of your love, but should you choose to honor me with marriage, I should take it as a sign the Seven still savor my soul, and it will be my unwavering endeavor to earn the trust and affection you would bestow upon me. Grace be unto the gods, and unto you, my sire and king.
Well said, my dear. That settles it, does it not, Commander? How can any man even contemplate the hand of another woman when he has met fair Ophelia?
It's your lucky day, Commander, for I have with me the famed beauty Ida, Princess of Hammerdale. Dwarves have come a-courting her from each part of the realm, clad in solid golden belts, beset with diamonds, wielding axes so sharp they can cleave rock. Bold warriors that alone could face an army, but none has laid claim to that purest of rubies that is her heart.
All right, Falstaff, put a sock in it. I'd rather see you drink than drivel. So unbecoming of a dwarf.
Yes, well, there you have it, Commander. Lady Ida. To her very good health, I say, and your future happiness. I'm sure it'll be a blissful union.
Why, yes, my little dandelion. What woman in her right mind wouldn't want to marry an emperor? 'Tis a right treat that you're not so bad looking either. But power, my lad, that is why we do it. The power of the dragon. Me? I do have a few personal stakes in this as well, though. My father, see, may the plague wither his pecker, is a right old rotter whose company I'm desperate to escape. Put a wedding ring on my finger, and your ship will be my home. I'm sure we'll get on like two pups a play.
The Seven have graced you, Commander. Go. Well said, my...
What a strange day this must be for you, Commander. Having to receive princesses who are strangers to you and choose which one of them you would spend your life with. Strange for the princesses themselves, too, Prospera. For they are put on display like cows on the market. And I am not a cow, kind sir. I am Camilla, a princess, rather reluctant to take part in this charade, but willing to do so for the benefit of all lizards. To be perfectly frank, I don't know if I really do. Your Highness, please forgive her, Commander. Nerves, you see. 1, there is nothing to forgive, and 2, I am calm as a frozen lake, so hold your tongue, Counselor. Now then, let me elaborate. Unlike those other girls I've seen shipped here by their aspiring ambassadors, I am not one who spends her days in palace rooms having her nails tended to. I've studied law and am now Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of my native land. I am a woman of the world, Commander, knowledgeable of matters of state. A royal marriage such as ours would constitute a political bond, not an amorous one, though perhaps in time a reasonable amount of endearment may bloom. Wonders never cease, do they not? Lizard and dragon. It would be an advantageous union. Think on it, Commander. What ambition I have compels me to hope I will be your cow, or should I say choice.
Come on, up you stand, back straight, chin high. The commander is here. No, you are not daydreaming, Commander. This is not a mirage that would trick your eyes. This unearthly beauty is real, and her name is Lohanna, Princess of all Elves, the fairest fruit ever plucked from our green mother's world tree. I'll give you a moment to compose yourself, for not many can gaze upon her and be undaunted by the sight of purity perfected.
The best reason of all. Love. Or so I hope. I have heard of your deeds and seen your portrait. Ever since, I admit I've been quite smitten with you, and when news of impending nuptials reached my dainty ears, I made certain Oberon would move mountains to ensure I'd get a chance to meet you. I know the very idea of love is often met with sardonic laughter in royal circles, where it is derided as a pleasantry that peasants may indulge in.
But I would not have it so. Let love be your reason too, O dragon, should you contemplate our union. If not, I think I had rather not be chosen.
Now, dear, don't put the commander on the spot. He's already head over heels in love with you, no doubt, as are all who have taken but a single look at you. And think of elven interests. We would have the dragon as our closest ally.
All this lovey-dovey. Wonderful. Who is the lucky lady? A wise choice, Commander. The benevolence of dwarves is a prized possession indeed. Allow me to be the first to heartily congratulate you, Commander. I will make discreet arrangements for her stay and the departure of the others. All will have been taken care of when you return from the battlefield.
Congratulations, Commander. Ada really is my type. That's to say, she clearly enjoys a spot of roughhousing now and again.
So you got hitched, did you, Commander? Hear, hear! Ida, boy, there's a princess well equipped in all the right places. Filthy rich and robust, with the emphasis on bust. The perfect combination.
So the slave market is closed, and you've made your pick from among 4 serfs, whether she was willing or not. Here's hoping Lady Ida won't let you walk all over her, which luckily I doubt a firebrand like her would.
If your decisions on the battlefield were as deplorable as the ones you made regarding the royal nuptials, we'd all have painfully perished by now. A dwarf, Commander? Really? If you like things that come tunneling out of the dark, you're better off with a mole.
I shall not conceal your choice of a partner has been a blow to us lizards, but personally I can't really hold it against you. Lady Camilla has a frigid nature that makes her difficult to endure, let alone love. In short, I hope you and Lady Ida will be very happy, but beware the overtly ambitious Falstaff who lurks behind her.
Alas that the Seven have struck you with blindness and loss of reason, Commander. But that is the only justification for your choosing another over Lady Ophelia. Bound to be miserable is your marriage to dwarf strumpet Ida, for it is devoid of godly grace.
Poor Lady Lohanna left this ship in tears when she heard you wouldn't marry her, Commander. And 'tis well that she cries. How you could have chosen that blaring dwarf over her is quite beyond me. You'll rue the day, and soon, too.
Shell-shocking catapults, Commander. What a pity it is you never got to meet pretty Princess Pyra. And now what? You're married to a dwarf all squat and plump, as if she's been hit over the head with a hammer one too many times. No, I don't envy you, Commander. Verily, I don't.
Commander, we all rejoice at your safe return. I am here with your princess, your wife-to-be, and shall now proceed with the wedding ceremony. It is here on this ship where conquest is charted and strategy surveyed that you shall pledge your vows. Symbolic, I hope, that love may yet conquer war. Our commander and emperor has sworn his devotion by the very act of choosing you, exalted lady, over all others. Only you must now avow your allegiance and dedication, if it pleases. Lady Ida, do you take the dragon to be your husband? To love and cherish now and forever?
You bet your Brady beard I do.
Then by the grace of the Almighty Seven, I now pronounce you man and wife. May joy and prosperity be your constant companions. Go forth, be merry, and make merry. Blessed be the both of you.
These tidings need toasting. To the bar!
I shall not
Pretty chamber I've been given my tasty thistle. Doesn't look quite as sturdy as dwarven masonry, but it'll do. Anything that's so many miles away from the presence of my father will do, in fact. King Thelor. Rat bastard. He's treated his only daughter like dirt his whole life. Was it my fault my mother died giving birth to me? Was it my fault I was born without boy's bits between my legs? Ah, to hell with him. I'm here now. A blushing bride, about to start her life anew. You got any rye around here? Fat old Falstaff swears by his beer, but I like a shot of something stronger now and again. Or maybe you, my dragon, can be my strong shot this jolly day. And the decoration here could use some work. Where are the gemstones? The statues carved from deep, hard rock? An elf might feel at home here as it is, and that's saying something.
Congratulations, my lord. Happy days, eh? Oh, but don't you worry. I haven't been sipping sparkle wine and eating wedding cake, no. Researching, engineering, those have been my occupations. Let's ready the tools, my lord.
You'll have your hands full with Lady Ida, Commander. But she's a good lass. And I'm glad that she's away from that despot of a father she has, King Thelor. A proud dwarf, that is true. But a tyrant, too. King of all dwarves he is. That's what it says on paper. But many among us would have it otherwise. Still, never mind all that. Today an alliance has been forged between dwarves and dragon that even the smiths under the mountain can't break. To us, Commander.
If your decision's on the battle...
Today will be one of celebration, Commander. Commander, there's something very important I'd like to talk to you about. I know I've been evasive about the demon, the creature I called the heart of the ship. But I think the time has come to tell you more. You, after all, are the dragon. Yours should be the prerogative of knowing more than anyone else aboard this vessel, or indeed the realm. Corvus is his name. Raven in the ancient language. He is at the same time our greatest ally and our greatest foe. For it is from his antediluvian psyche that I wrestle many of the incredible powers Grumio and I make real. But it is he who also provided your siblings with like technologies, and does so still through dream walking. This diabolical being, then, who holds our key to victory, but would much rather unbolt the door of defeat, desires to address the dragon. He has wanted to do so from the beginning. And though I had rather you'd never meet this thing of insidious evil, I recognize such is not my decision to make. So find me in my study, and I will show you how to find Corvus. I realize, my friend, this revelation of mine must leave you with more questions than answers. So, in the royal chamber, where reigns the precious presence of privacy, I shall answer any queries you may still have, to the best of my abilities.
The air is rather dry in here. I could use a glass of the bartender's best. So, you're backing the fairies, are you? Both the elves and the other kind. Thin end of the wedge, if you ask me, Commander. They'll be marrying goats next. Taxes, taxes, taxes. That's all Ida's father, that tyke of a Thelor, thinks of. Well, the other certainty is death, or so the adage goes. And if he's not careful, death'll find him before the taxman finds me. The air is rather dry in...
Gay marriage is a reality. You've written history, Commander. Long have we elves fought for what we think is an example of basic equality. But never has a monarch given us his public support. Bravo!
Come to visit your wee wife, have you, my sugar plum? Good. For I have a wee favour to ask of you. My father, the king, curse his crown, is going to raise taxes again in that misbegotten part of Rivellin under his rule. Of course, you know the cur's as liked as a flatulent jester, even by his own nobles. So they begged me to beg you to countermand his tax rise. 'Twould humiliate him publicly and weaken his position as king. So they say. Fair enough, I reply. Music to my ears, really. So how about it? Mighty fine of you, my rumplediddle. That'll bring the old bugger down a peg or two.
Seven save us from the dragon, for where he goes, vice sprouts like infectious corruption, disseminates like a poisonous contagion. Ghouls coveting not women as they should, hags longing for anything but the male touch. Abhorrent is the hell you stage.
Thanks again for passing that new marriage law, Commander. There are these two lizard girls I know, and they tied the knot the moment the news broke. What a feast we had! I don't remember any of it.
I suggest you read my treatise on warfare, Commander. If not, embarrassing defeats like this will continue to befall.
This loss has cost us dearly.
Grumio, son of Gromio, and the wizard will say it's all his doings, of course, but I know he's keeping secrets from me. Half of the things I hammer together he never even showed me. No, the Raven did. She is alive, somehow. She likes me. She instructs me. She must have been there all along to help your father conquer the world. One hell of a girl. Let's ready the tool.
Despair not, my friend. These setbacks are but temporary. I am certain of it. Why, Corvus told me, of course. He'll tell you everything if you ask, for he relishes in the opportunity to unfold his plans, see you react when he tells you how he set in motion the ruin of the empire you gave your life for, how, in your case, he helped kill your mother. Grief, hate, anger, any emotion you betray, he'll notice and drink it in like a prize brandy. The term is pretty much self-descriptive, actually. You've talked to Grumio, haven't you? Well, there you go. The Raven sings to him, he says. Shows him pretty miracles. That's just Corvus toying with him. Just like he toys with your brothers and sisters. The demon can't help itself. He invades people's minds and plays havoc with them. As long as he teaches useful things, though, he can be a blessing. Because that excitable imp down in the engineering bay would never have thought of something as outlandish as a jetpack unless he saw it in a fantasy of the night. That much I can assure you. In a word, yes. I know the game he plays. I too have once been tempted by demonic gifts, but never have I succumbed to their attraction. He is ready to wield the greatest and most ghoulish sorcery of all, Magia Sanguinis. Foreboding words. For blood magic demands blood. Do not forget. I'm not surprised. When one meets Corvus, one sees his true guise. But in dreams, he can appear as anyone or anything. No doubt Grumio sees or hears an imp girl of fantastic beauty. He has no idea a demon is toying with him. But as long... Indeed I can. No corridor leads to the dismal vault he haunts. But enter the flames of the fireplace, and afore Corvus you shall find yourself. If you wish it. I myself, I recommend no such visit.
At last we meet, Dragon Knight. Too long have I sensed your steadfast tread along my halls, like a reverberation through the spine. Too long have I heard your voice linger, like the recollection of a dream near forgotten. Too long have we been intangibly intimate without having made one another's acquaintance. I am Corvus, the Raven, the Demon. I am what makes this ship a source of inconceivable power, and unbeknownst to you, I am your greatest ally. Greater than the wizard, your generals, and your armies combined. Today we finally look one another in the eyes. Both of us relish in the promise locked within. Yes, quite so. So ardent did this pitiful architect desire revenge that I saw my chance. He'd do anything to enact her death, even enact his own. So long we worked on that poisonous concoction, and already I could see the world through his eyes when it was finally brewed. He slipped it into her wine, and she, naive girl, yet a dragon, drank it all. I watched on as he leant over her and inhaled deeply as she exhaled her last breath. I do believe he climaxed then and there, the twisted soul. I laughed till I wept blood. Indeed I do, for all I desire is war. I pick no sides, I spare no creature. War, blood, dark days of death innumerable. That is what I crave. Maxos, I give nothing freely. That accursed wizard I make work for his revelations. But that fatuous imp, him I give my knowledge for free, so that he may pass it on to you. The one who will burn and battle the better for it. But to give you power so that I may have my pleasures, I suffer in this lonely place where that devilish sorcerer tears in strips my mind and takes off with shattered memories. The fragments of true potential that might have been. And yet I remain free in dreams, for in dreams I have dominion. Long do I sleep, roam in reverie and wander worlds of wonder, dimensions you can neither behold nor comprehend. There have I found what I shall give you, in return for the deathless soul that is life's blood. I am but a slave now, bound by a demon's oath to serve the one that bound me. No more than an inferno genie in a rather exceptional bottle. Give me leaves, though, and I can claw for the things I crave. Dearest dragon, so rash, so impetuous. But fine, I will tell you. All I want is blood. Thick, sweet, dripping ruby blood. It nourishes me. It sustains me. Give me leash to walk the dreams of your peoples. I devour them in sleep, and yours will be untold powers. Or perhaps you desire the affection of those whose benefit you need. If it is the dwarven favor you are after, for instance, I can attune their allegiance in the night. If I'm allowed to feast on the plump, bloody souls of others, that is. And if you want to taste true power, want to experience the true richness of demonic might, you will give me your wife, dragon. Render her unto me, so she may become a blood servant, and the ruthless radiance of domination will be yours. I am beyond such petty concepts, as could you be. Think on it, dragon. Return to me when you have brushed the cobwebs from your mind. Morality is but a ball and chain. Listen to me and cut the chain.
The day may have brought defeat, Commander, but the night will bring... Ask me about Corvus, my friend, and I will tell you all about the Architect.
Dal's Jarwin White Whiskers strikes again, Commander. He's the foremost dwarven scholar, as I'm sure you know, and he's about to publish his 1000th article on natural history. Rumour has it he'll make a startling new revelation, and I'm anxious to read all about it.
Commander, a most grave and ignominious matter has come to my attention. Some dwarven quack, styling himself a scientist, claims he has found conclusive proof that we lizards, and some form of degenerate aquatic orc, are descendant of one and the same ancestor. He means to publish this rot in the Rivellon Scientific Gazette, thereby causing irreparable damage to our species' reputation. With the utmost insistence, I therefore urge you to halt this publication. And if the matter of censorship bothers you, think nothing of it. By blocking the printing of this inane nonsense, you're safeguarding not only the good standing of all lizards, but of the illustrious Gazette as well. A dwarven scholar? Really? The very notion is ludicrous. Yes, well, I have a few words I've been saving for just such an occasion. He'll recant his aberrant ideas about evolutional origins, unless he wants me to teach him a thing or two about extinction.
Edmund seems to be in a mood fouler than an ogre's abattoir. We were just trading routine insults when I said, "Your grandmother was an orc," and immediately he tried to get his bloody hands round my throat. Madcap lizard. Who gets so upset over such a childish taunt?
You taught our enemy.
Stand and...
How can I be of us without delay? But
to be honest, Commander, I had expected more of Old Man Charwin. One has but to look at lizards to see whether they be distant relatives of orcs or not. Some great-great-great-grandmother of theirs romanced a snail at some point. Silly creatures. Commander, it would seem some of my fellow dwarves have been corrupted by obscene elven habits. They call themselves nudists and demand the demented right to walk about stark naked on sections of beach or park grounds. I tell you, they've gone completely bonkers. You'll not allow for such practices, will you, Commander?
Somehow I think you know what I'm about to say, Commander, but by golly, nakedness is a sin. Yes, indeed, the Seven forbid it. People should hide their shame, not strut about for all to see. Good heavens, well, the mere thought is repulsive.
The body is a miracle of nature, Commander. And there is something quite liberating about languishing a few hours away in the open air, devoid of all fabric. If those dwarves Falstaff mentions have come to realize this, why not give them a spot here and there where they may indulge in their newfound pastime?
I don't quite see the problem here, Commander. After all, these dwarves are not asking for the right to appear nude anywhere in public. Let them have their beach, I say, properly marked and fenced. Long as I don't have to look on, I'm perfectly happy to let people do as they please.
We imps don't wear anything at all until we reach puberty, Commander. Then dress only to avoid awkwardness. Nude beaches sounds like a capital idea. Sit back and watch the girls play jump ball.
Commander, I am not a prude, but I'm not a pervert either. Imagine a fat old dwarf like me, naked on a beach. What if a child should see? They'll be scarred for life.
Cordial of you to let these nudist dwarves have their day in the sun, despite their own counselor's wishes, Commander. To be sure, they'll have the appearance of so many beached whales, but if they don't care, why should I?
Ha! Lovely. It might be a bit awkward when elves and imps mingle, though. The height difference puts things in a rather weird perspective.
I'm glad you're keeping an open mind, Commander. If more dwarves would enjoy naturalism in nature, perhaps they wouldn't be so keen on destroying so much of God's green earth around them.
By partaking in these vile rituals, such as witches practicing during their moonlit Sabbaths, these dwarves taint themselves in the eyes of the Seven forever, Commander. You are allowing them to throw themselves into the reaches of hell. You are doing a demon's task.
Well, Commander, I must admit I was, well, not wrong, but a tad less correct than I could have been about Dahl's Charwin White Whiskers, the dwarven scientist whose findings riled me so. As it would turn out, his article was far from complete, but the Rivellon Scientific Gazette wanted to publish it nonetheless, so as to make an ill portrayal of us lizards. The chief editor is some exasperating elf, apparently, who was once outwitted by a lizard in a business deal. Of course he was. The researchers' true findings, though, are quite interesting to say the least. The ancestor theory seems likely, but somewhere down the road a complete split was made, wherein all that was strong and shrewd flowed to our line, and all that was backward and bland was left to the orcs. His work is a celebration of lizard triumph in the course of evolution. I have seen to it, it will be published the realm round. There we have it, a dwarven scholar worth his salt. I'd thought it as likely as Henry showing a display of wit. But I was mistaken, and that is a phenomenon less frequent than a snowstorm in the deserts of youthful Gaul.
Edmund is of a very rare sunshiny disposition today, Commander. Gives me the shivers when he bids me good day instead of offering me his normal stare. You know, the one as if he's looking upon an accident left on the carpet by someone's dog.
What a glory!
Shall I tell you about Will Ford?
He's a sly old fox, King Thelor. Spun that whole tat situation so that Lady Ida is perceived to be the villain of the piece. A real serpent of a man, whom I should like to crush neath my heel if I could. Only to replace him, of course.
I must hand it to the decrepit devil. He does have guts, be they as rotten as Yorick's flesh. 'Tis my father I'm talking of. He organised a tax increase despite your very own draconic veto. And that is far from all. The mongrel has told anyone willing to listen that it was I that put you up to... forced you to meddle in dwarfen affairs. Went on and on about how the good relations between you and him were jeopardised by a queen unworthy of her title. Wretched greybeard. How dare he? But you'll set the record straight, won't you? Aye, and him too. For every dwarf in the realm thinks an abstinent elf would make a better queen than me. Attaboy! Now we're cooking. With all the dirt we'll find in there, we can squeeze him tighter than my boobs are in this bloody blouse.
I must admit, you settled that lot.
Correct me if I misconstrue events, Commander, but I believe you ordered a Lesser Lord, Themor or something, to undo one of his policies, and he blankly ignored you, yes? Doesn't that rather sully your image as King of Kings?
Under my rule...
What a...
Combat and...
I hope your coffin to be my pleasure.
I hope you don't mind, Commander, but I've requested that a few of your generals should undo the havoc that is being caused by a group of lizard rebels. These misguided souls have taken to the teachings of a cult that worships the so-called One God, and they're causing no end of unrest where they dwell. I'm sure Henry and Edmund are the proper officers for the job, wouldn't you agree? They'll need to be diplomatic, though, if they seek to succeed.
A dear old lady, our Prospera, but it saddens me to see senility is taking hold. She actually wants me to work together with that barrel of gin they call a general. It would be almost comical, if it weren't so galling.
Commander, a word in your ear. There seems to be a spot of trouble in one of the provinces. Some lizard rebel running amok. Naught but a trifle that Prospera has requested us to deal with. But she wants me and Bloody Edmund to go together. Yes, he's a lizard too, it stands to reason. But the man's as pleasant as a cactus down your trousers. So if you don't mind, I'll go alone. Practice? I'll be practicing skittles with his balls before the day is out. You know that cold-blooded cretin annoys me to no end. I'll follow your orders, Commander. But we're supposed to quell an uprising, you know, not add fuel to the fire.
Under my rule,
Combat.
How can I be of this without delayment?
What a pair Edmund and Henry make, Commander. Worry no longer. The insidious religion of the one god no longer tempts a single lizard in the realm. They either pay homage to the Seven, or have the good sense not to prattle on about gods at all.
Commander, you know that many of the greatest imp inventors and scientists suffer no end of injuries in the line of duty. New and fickle weapons tend to, well, go boom at inopportune moments. Often, we heal their wounds with magic and replace lost limbs with marvels of engineering. But ever so often, they are beyond repair. In that case, we like to end their suffering by means of Black Rose extract. In the eyes of the law, though, this is murder. So let us scrap that law.
Mr. Shortfuse's proposal is a meritorious one, Commander. Every sun must set, and if the setting is one of suffering, why not speed it along with Black Rose?
No dwarf goes gently into the dark night if he can help it, Commander. We fight against the dying light with every sinew in our bodies, and no needle-wielding quack will Ballywell interfere. Only those who clung to every last breath are worthy of the eternal warrior's afterlife.
Trinculo is quite correct, Commander. That law is woefully outdated and should simply be abolished. Sometimes to kill is the only way to be merciful.
Life is a gift of the gods, and so of course is death. It is not up to mortals or undead to tamper with either of them, which is precisely what those impish charlatans are trying to do.
I'm glad you're being so sensible about this, Commander. One of our doctors had to resort to jailbreak after ministering to a miserable old dwarf almost burnt beyond recognition when he dozed off with a pipe in his mouth. Set his beard aflame in no time, the poor bugger. What could that imp do but slip him sweet sister sleep?
Very wise of you, Commander. Pain is such a terror. To relieve one's patients of it should be a physician's foremost care, even if sometimes relief may prove to be definitive.
So now we're catering to the weaklings that choose drugs over defiance. Doctors ought to treat their charges to the very end, not sing them opiate lullabies.
Well done, Commander. It takes an enlightened mind to weigh life against death and realize that sometimes the latter is the kinder condition.
If someone's last days are days of agony, the Seven have willed it so. Ease their torment, and you thwart the divine order. One more example that sacrilege is inbred in science.
We've returned from our mission, Commander. All's well among the lizards again. No more praise for the one god anymore, but proper prayer for the Seven, or whatever floats their boat. I was hoping for at least some resistance, so that I could spill a mite of their cold blood. But there was none to be had. Diplomacy, aka idle chatter, saved the day. Wasn't such a bad thing looking back on it, that serpent of an Edmund tagged along. Obviously, we were plotting each other's demise from the get-go, but when push came to shove, we both wanted to appear the greater general, forced us to bring our A-game. Long story short, the cultists renounced their evil ways and were accepted back into society. Boring as fig stew. The Prosperous over the moon? She can stay there for all I care.
Never would I have expected the likes of Henry to wag such a silver tongue. There must be some brain cells left neath that simian cranium of his after all. Holding on for dear life, I expect.
Sometimes I...
The wizard has discovered... Without delay, my lord.
What? Oh, my privilege, come on.
Whoever stole Thelaw's black book had better treat it responsibly. A man's affairs are his own, even if he has to pay a monthly fee to keep them on the hush-hush.
Well, butter my buns if this isn't better than my birthday. This ledger is a bloody gold mine. You should see the names in here. He has all the greats of the land eaten out of his palm because of their sordid little secrets. My word, there's stuff in here so saucy it'd make the Queen of Whores blush like a maiden on her wedding night. Now all we have to do is make this doozy public. Sure, it'll cause a bit of an uproar, but think of all the power that will slip from that old sod's grasp. Oh, I know where they'll fall, all right. They'll come a-plummeting from the sky like little meteors of sweet revenge aimed straight for his head. With a bit of luck, they'll crack his skull like I crack nuts in my hands.
Under my rule...
Oh dear, oh dear. They say they stole some kind of secret little book from King Thelor. What an outrage! Imagine it got out. People could get hurt. We were all young ones. I mean, if every indiscretion... Oh dear, oh dear.
You taught out...
What a glow...
You fight with...
Fire and it'll be my pleasure, my lord.
Horror of horrors, Commander. Claudella, our foremost artist, turns out to be a sinner of sapphic sentiments. Such transgression cannot be condoned. The gods will not stand for it. All her works shall be pulled down onto the ground and smashed into the dust. Seven forgive us for having admired her so.
Once more, the undead are in an uproar over nothing, Commander. Now they are systematically tearing down the statues of their own foremost artist because she made the posthumous confession of being gay. What on earth moved her to do so, we'll never know, but the results are tragic. Please tell Yorick to calm his kin. A civilized society should not stand for such barbarism, whether the gods approve or not.
Remember I mentioned the artist Della Gecko a while ago, Commander? Brilliant. Gay. Well, I have another example. The undead sculptress Claudella, who sadly perished a short while ago because of some strange disease that sometimes plagues her kindred. She was an artist of profound mastery, revered by every single one of the undead, but now that in her last will and testament she revealed to have had a long-standing physical relationship with a woman they always assumed to be her sister, the vermin are systematically destroying all her works. Beautiful bronzes, marvelous marbles, all are falling under the hypocrites' hammers. But you can do something about this, Commander. You can stop this madness. And if you won't, give me the order and I'll bash the skull of each vandal I meet. Couldn't have said it better myself. Cheers, Commander. You're officially a patron of the arts now. I shall raise a toast to you tonight. And in the meantime, try not to succumb to the temptation of yanking away Yorick's lower jaw and throwing it overboard.
Under my rule.
How's that, Jit? Right home.